Hello everybody, welcome to the next game in the Demolition League. This is the only game or only matchup that I have not shown on video yet. I played the first game of this on the computer, but I figured to give every team equal opportunity. We'll put this out for, this is the second game they're playing against each other. Second game of a 3-game set. Detroit beat Oakland the first time around. Oakland trying to return the favor, but of course Oakland had a horrible team in 2023, and I knew that going in, but just wanted to see how they would do in a league like this. Starting pitchers for Oakland, Ken Waldichuk, a left-hander. He was 4-9 with a 5.36 ERA. And for Detroit, Matt Manning, a right-hander, 5-4 with a 3.58 ERA. I did look up their injury chances. Matt Manning is a 6 on his card or on the roster sheet, so that means if we roll a 6-7, he is susceptible to injury. Waldichuk has a 1, which means a 6-12. We check for injury on him. Ballpark effects, singles are 1-5 for lefties and righties. Home runs are 1-4. Pitcher-catcher hold interface. Waldichuk is a -2. The catcher, Langoliers, is a -1 for a total of -3. Matt Manning is a -6. And then the catcher, Rogers, is a +1. So we get a -5 for that. I do have the game up on the computer. I'll try to score it as we play it, so that I can give up-to-date stats as the game goes on, or up-to-date, without having to tabulate everything. Closest I can get to Oakland A's colored dice, so we'll go with that. So Ken Waldichuk finishing up the warm-up tosses will be facing the right fielder, Matt Vierling. He is in right field for this game. One injury occurred to Oakland in Game 1, and that was Ramon Laureano is going to be out for 6 games, so he is not in right field as he would normally be, so that means they have Brown and move from left to right, and Rooker, who usually DHs, is playing left field. He has a 5 E13, but he's got a good bat, so they're going to take their chances in left field. So lefty Waldichuk facing Vierling. We get a 6-3 against Waldichuk. Fly ball, left field X, and as soon as I say that, we get a left field X chance on Rooker. I think I've jinxed him right there. Left field error chance on Mr. Rooker. Not good. He's a 5. So if we go to our outfield chart, as a 5, he has to have a 16 through 20 to get to this. Anything else is going to drop. That's a 12. It's going to drop. It'll be a single. That's an 8. And he is an E13. E13, there is no 8, so at least there's no error, but it will drop for a base hit. So with a 12, with it being a 12, any other outfielder would have caught that ball, but not a 5 rated outfielder. So that's the chance you take when you put him out there, but that's what they kind of had to go with thanks to the injury to Laureano. So Vierling is aboard. In order to get the jump, to get the lead, he needs a 3 through 6, but he could be caught with a 9. If he does get the lead, it's a 15, but being held makes him a 13, and then the -3 make it a 10, so not really a good opportunity there. They're going to hold him on, but they will not try anything. And now Riley Green, center fielder, to the plate. 3-7, and that is a strikeout. So Riley Green, lefty on lefty matchup. He did face lefties 23% of the time, so they weren't shy about putting him out there against a lefty, that's for sure. But in this instance, it did not work out. Here's Javier Baez, shortstop. Get a 110, and that's a hit by pitch. So he gets plunked by Waldichuk, and Javi not too happy about it. But he'll trot down to first. 2 on, 1 out. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Kerry Carpenter. Lefty on lefty matchup. Waldichuk 5-8, and that's a 1-10 home run. That's a 3. He has normal power. So playing the lefty, they weren't afraid to play him against the lefty, and it pays off. The 5-8 is an in-home run chance on a 1-10. That's a 3. He is the in-home run. So Kerry Carpenter hits a 3-run homer off of Waldichuk, and the Tigers take a 3-0 lead here in the first inning. So the lefty on lefty pays off in this instance. So apparently, A.J. Hinch knew what he was doing, putting him out there in left field to get the start, and he hits the 3-run homer. Here's Spencer Torkelson, first baseman. 3-9 against the lefty. That's a 1-12 home run, but that's a 20, so he'll have to settle, in air quotes, with a double. So it's double for Torkelson. And boy, Waldichuk is not faring too well right now. Here's Andy Ibanez, third baseman. 3-7, and that's a 1-12 double. It is a 12, so back-to-back doubles. It is 4-0 in the first inning. And boy, Waldichuk may not make it very far. He may need to come out right away. Good thing they have 7 relievers in the pen. They may need them. Here is the venerable All-Star, or soon-to-be Hall of Famer, I should say, Miguel Cabrera. Not there yet because he has to be retired for so many years, but he's guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer. Waldichuk 2-11, and that's a ballpark single chance. It's a 1-5, but that's a 17, so he's going to line it to short for out number 2. So that time, Oakland Coliseum helped out Waldichuk. And that'll bring up Jonathan Scope, second baseman, with 2 outs and a runner at second. Waldichuk to Scope. 4-6 against a right-hander is a strikeout. End the inning finally, but 3 runs make it 4 for Detroit. Let me fix this a little bit here, make it better. 4-0 Detroit here in the first, as they laid waste to Waldichuk in the first inning. And now, Oakland will come to bat against Matt Manning. And it'll be Tony Kemp who gets the call. And we got to watch those 6-7 results because that could be Manning could be injured. We get a 1-8 for Kemp, and he's going to ground it to first. Torkelson will take it to the bag himself, 1 away. For shortstop Aledmus Diaz. .310 for Diaz against the righty, and he's going to foul it out to the catcher, Rogers. That is out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. That brings up Rooker, the left fielder. Brent Rooker. .28 for Rooker, struck him out. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Manning. And things not looking good for the Oakland A's here in the first part of this ball game. They're already 0-1 after losing to Detroit in Game 1. It's not look good for him here in Game 2. And the only man that did not bat in the first inning, Jake Rogers, the catcher, will bat to lead off the second. 2-10 struck him out. So Waldichuk might be better off to get everything off the batter's cards, leave his card for a while. Here's Verling, right fielder, singled and scored his first time up. 4-3, that's a fly ball right field X. That's Brown. He's a 3-2, so that's more reasonable. 3-10, he'll get to that. 3-10 is an F2. That's an 8, and he's an E2. So no problems with that one whatsoever. Fly ball to right field, put away out there by Brown. What can Brown do for Oakland? He can catch a fly ball. So there's 2 down for Riley Green. Another lefty on lefty matchup. Oh, Suadice. Let's re-roll that. 1-4, and that's a 1-12 triple. That's a 9. So Riley Green is going to hit a 2-out triple. 2-out triple for Riley Green. And now Waldichuk not out of the mess yet, but he does get to face Javi Baez, who he hit the first time up. .58 against a right-hander. He's going to give up a double. So it gives up a triple and now a double. And it is now 5-0 Detroit. All this coming with 2 outs and the base is empty. And here comes Mr. Carpenter, who homered his first time up, a 3-run home run. So wall to 2 is a chance for a balk or a pass ball. Looking at a chance of a balk. He's got a balk rating of 3. So he balks. How about that? What else could go wrong for Waldichuk? He balks. Go figure. Go figure. So he balks him to third. At least he didn't bring the run home. At least not yet. Waldichuk to Carpenter. 1-8, and it's a ground ball to second. That's going to end the inning. So he escapes just giving up the 1 run. And we go to the bottom of the second. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the second. It's now 5-0 Detroit. And I knew when I picked Oakland for this little league that it could be problematic, but I was just curious to see how they would do. And obviously, curiosity can kill the cat, and it could kill Oakland on this one too. So here's Seth Brown. 5-6 against the lefty is a pop up to first. Torkelson makes the catch. 1 away for DH Jesus Aguilar. 4-6 to a righty, struck him out. 2 down. Manning with that 5-0 lead, pitching with no fear. Here's Ryan Noda, the first baseman. 4-10, and that's a fly ball to left. That's going to be another 1-2-3 inning, turned in by Matt Manning. And as soon as Waldichuk gets a breather, he's got to go right back out and pitch again. Welcome to Oakland. All right, top of the third. Spencer Torkelson will lead it off. He doubled and scored his first time up. Waldichuk can use a 1-2-3 inning here. Probably won't get it. 5-10. Now he's going to walk him. That's usually not a good sign to walk the leadoff guy. Torkelson will not be held and won't try to go anywhere. And here is Ibanez, third baseman. 2, another chance for a balk or a pass ball. That's a 1. Does he balk again? He does not this time. No balk this time. 1-6 for Ibanez. Ground ball second. It's a double play. 4-6-3. Well, that'll certainly help him out right there. 4-6-3 double play. 2 quick outs for Miguel Cabrera. 6-5 against a right-hander, strikes him out. So how about that? Waldichuk makes it through the third unscathed. So at least he'll come back for the fourth. But they trail it 5-0. Matt Manning will be facing Jace Peterson, third baseman. Followed by Langoliers and Ruiz. 2-7, and that's a leadoff walk to Peterson. So a leadoff walk for Mr. Peterson. And down 5-0. I'm not sure, especially with that -5 factor. I don't think he's going to go. He will be held, but he won't go anywhere. And here is Langoliers, the catcher. 4-8, and that's a pop out to third base, where Ibanez handles it no problem. 1 away for the number 9 hitter, Ruiz. Nothing happening there. 5-6. Pop up to short. So he popped him up to third. Now he pops him up to short. 2 quick outs after the leadoff walk, and here comes Tony Kemp, leadoff man. Grounded to Torkelson his first time up. 3-6 for Kemp, and that's a ground ball to second. Going to end the inning. So nothing doing there. We've played 3 complete. It is Detroit 5 and Oakland nothing. Jonathan Scope will lead things off for the Tigers. 5-5 against the right-hander. Struck him out. Dot there, but he's not tired yet. 1 away for Jake Rogers. The Waldichuk has struck out 5, so when he's gotten the outs, he's done it in fashion of the strikeout primarily, but it's the non-strikeouts that are getting him. 4-8, and he strikes him out. So how about that? Feast or famine for Waldichuk. Either he gets them with a strikeout or they get a hit. Here's Verlaine. He's 1 for 2. 4-3, and that's a fly ball right field X. That is Brown. He's a 3-2. 3-14, he'll get to that. 3-14 would be an F2. That's a 12, and he's an E2. E2, and there's no 12, so it's good play. A 1-2-3 inning turned in by Waldichuk. How about that? He's got his second wind. But his team's not scoring any runs. That's another issue. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Matt Manning back out, and forgot to do it to start the inning, but let me just double check and make sure focus and everything still seems to be pretty good as far as I can tell. Trying to put as much light on this thing as I can without putting too much light on it. Kemp made the last out of the 3rd, so now we're going to start with Aledmus Diaz. 1-2 against the right-handers, a grounder to second. Scope is there, 1 away. That'll bring up Rooker, left fielder. .610, 6-7 is his injury chance. 6-10 though is a fly ball center field X. That's Green. He's a 3-9. 3-9 for Riley Green. 3 and a 1. Oh, it flipped to 1 at the last second, so that's going to be a double. 3 and a 1 is going to be a double. That's an 11. And he is an E9 in center field. There is no 11, but there is a double for Brent Rooker. That's why he's in there, for his offense, not his defense. That's the first hit of the game for the A's. Took him 4 innings to get it, but he gets a 1-out double. And now finally some havoc rolls with Manning on the mound. Here's Seth Brown. 1-7 for Brown, and that's danger too. 1-12, 1-15 is a double. That's a 12. So back-to-back doubles. And all of a sudden the A's are on the board. Cuts the lead to 5-1. Manning's not exactly Cy Young either, so it's not like Oakland has no chance. Here's Aguilar. Roll this in here. All right, 5-4. 5-4 is ground ball third base X. That's Ibanez. He's a 4-E-17. 4-E-17. 4-2. Boy, that evil D20 getting to him. 4-2 is an SI2. They'll score the run. That's a 10. Don't think there's going to be an error on a 10, and there is not. But it's a single with 2 stars, which means Brown comes in to score. And all of a sudden, 3 consecutive hits makes it a 5-2 game. Getting a little more interesting. There's Ryan Noda, 1 long ball, and they'll really be back in the game. Manning to Noda. Aguilar not being held. 3-11, that's a split chance. 1-10 is a single, that's a 7. So in super advanced, that would have been an out, but in super advanced, it's a single. So single for Ryan Noda. Just 1 star, so runners at first and second for Jace Peterson. Still only 1 out. Manning trying to get out of this and get his team back to the plate. 1-3, and that's a ground ball shortstop A. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double play, just what they ordered. And that will get them out of the inning. A's do score 2, cut the lead to 5-2. But Manning was able to curtail any further damage. So we go to the 5th. This is the fatigue inning for Waldichuk in a 5-2 game. Riley Green is your leadoff man. He is struck out and tripled. 1-7. He's going to single, so he's 2 for 3. And now the Oakland bullpen certainly is tossing, and we'll show the bullpen arms they have available. From the right side, they have Adrian Martinez, Trevor May, who is their closer, Danny Jimenez, Austin Pruitt, Lucas Urseg, and they have 2 lefties, Sam Long and Sam Mole. So those are their bullpen arms. So given what's going on here, let's see who they've got that they want to bring in, or start to relieve, I should say. They're going to go with Austin Pruitt. He will be loosening in the pen for Oakland. Austin Pruitt loosening in the pen. So up to the plate now is Javi Baez. He has been hit by a pitch and he's doubled. 3-6 to a lefty, strikes him out. 1 away. And that'll send up the cleanup man, Carpenter. He hit a 3-run homer in the first and then grounded to second in the second. Waldichuk to Carpenter, lefty on lefty. 2-8, and that's a walk. So now one more advancement, or one more base runner, I should say, and Waldichuk will reach fatigue. And now Tabby is crying, so let me bring her in real quick. Okay, Tabby is in. Come on, Tabby. Come here, Tabby. Come here, Tabby. You might even be able to hear her making noise. She's definitely making her noise. No doubt she's making some noise. She's definitely making noise. We'll try to keep her on the perch and not up here on the table if possible. Torkelson is your batter. First and second, 1 out. They could use a double play right about now. 4-4. That's a ground ball. Shortstop X has got a chance at a double play. Shortstop Diaz, though, is a 4-E-12. That's not very good. 4 and 8 might be a force play. 4 and an 8 is a G3. Runners are actually going to advance. Nobody's being held, so the pound's not in play. So it's going to be runner advance, but it could be an error. That's a 15, and he is a 12 at short. And there's a 15 sitting right here. 1 base error on an E12. It's a 15. Diaz is an E12, so it's an E6. 1 base error. It's going to load the bases. So not only did not turn the double play, they don't even get an out. It's bases loaded for Ibanez. And I think they're going to make the call to the bullpen. Waldichuk is going to go, and Austin Pruitt's going to come on. Austin Pruitt, 2-6, 2.98 ERA, 6 starts. I think he was like an opener because he only had 48 innings. He's only rated for relief, basically, with a 1. Starter as a 1, so you can tell he's an opener. So Austin Pruitt will be the new pitcher. Cannot close the book on Waldichuk. Pruitt's a -1. Langolier's a -1 for a -2. So Austin Pruitt now is in, and Waldichuk is out. So now on the computer, I will need to go in, bring in Pruitt. And he comes in a definitely not an enviable situation. Bases loaded, only 1 out, trailing by the score of 5-2. And do they play back or do they play in is the question. They're going to play back for the double play, hoping they can turn the double play. Could be risky. 1-4, and that's a pop out to short, so it's infield fly rule. So if nothing else, it helps them out with the infield fly rule. Nobody can advance. Now there's 2 outs. Now the infield can go back to normal for Miguel Cabrera. Boy, Tabby wants her attention. She's just rubbing all against me. She wants my attention, so. But sometimes what Tabby wants, Tabby gets, you know. So, all right, Tabby. That's enough. You need to stay here. All right, so bases loaded. 2 outs from Miguel Cabrera. Pruitt trying to get out of it. 5-6, and that's a fly to left field, so he does it. So Austin Pruitt, little Houdini work there to get out of that. And that's going to end the inning. So now we can close the book on Waldichuk. He goes 4 1/3 innings. He's going to give up a total of 5 runs, which were earned. Let's see how many hits he gave up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. 7 hits. His walks, well, he hit a batter, and then he also walked 2. 2 plus the hit batsman. Struck out quite a bit, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts, actually. So that's his line score. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And, of course, he's on the hook to be the losing pitcher unless the A's make a tremendous rally. But give Pruitt credit. He did very well, keeping it from being worse, not allowing any runs to score. And now Matt Manning back on the mound. His fatigue is a 6, so he's still okay. Chase Peterson is your batter. I'm sorry, he hit into a double play last time. It's actually Langoliers who's the leadoff man. Manning to Langoliers, 1-5. 1-6 is a single. That's a 17, though, so he will line it to third. 1 away. As Ibanez hauls that in. For the number 9 hitter, Ruiz. .112. Fouls out to Torkelson at first base. 2 quick outs. Top of the order, Tony Kemp, 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs. 5-8 to a lefty, pops it to first, so nothing left the infield on that one. A line out and 2 pop outs. Very quick inning for the A's. They get nothing and like it. We go to the 6th. It's still 5-2. Pruitt back out. He faced 2/3 of. He pitched 2 batters and got them both out, so he's not anywhere near fatigue yet. They're going to at least get him through this inning if possible. And Jonathan Scope will lead it off, the number 8 hitter in the lineup. Jonathan Scope. Pruitt to Scope, 6-4. That's a fly ball center field X. That is Ruiz. He's a 4-11. So having a 4 in center field, obviously not what you necessarily want. But the 17 will give him a break. So a 4 and a 17, he'll get to that. Question is, will the E11 cost him? 4 and a 17 is an F2, but will the E11 cost him? He needs to avoid 3, 13, 16, and 18. And he did. That's a 12. So he's able to make the catch. Tough chance, but he made it. Ruiz takes care of Scope, 1 away. Brings up Rogers. Let me check the focus again. Every time I bring a piece of paper, a chart in there, I keep thinking the focus is going to get screwed up. But it looks like it's okay as I'm looking through the phone. So we're going to roll. Hopefully it's okay. Tabby's on her perch right next to me, but she is being quiet and sitting still. So hopefully that's a good sign. Here's Rogers. 3-12. That's a fly to left. Out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down, and that's going to flip the order over to Vierling, who is 1 for 3. 6-6 for Pruitt, and gets him to fly to center. And that's going to end the inning. That's going to do it for Pruitt. He's going to go in an inning and 2/3 and not give up anything. No walks, no strikeouts, no hits, no runs, no nothing. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Score still 5-2, and this is Matt Manning's fatigue inning. So we need to keep an eye on that. And then figure out who the new Oakland pitcher is going to be when we go to the next inning. There's 2 out of 3 are left-handed, so it's probably going to be a left-hander coming out of the pen. And we are looking at Sam Long, 0-1 with a 5.60 ERA and 2 saves. So Sam Long will be the new pitcher in the 7th inning for Oakland. Right now, Manning will be facing Diaz, Rooker, and Brown. 1-6, and it's a grounder to third. So Diaz is 0 for 3. And that'll bring up Rooker. He doubled and scored his last time up. (6-6). Oh, we just missed that 6-7 result. 6-6 is a fly to center. Out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for Seth Brown. (2-9) for Brown, struck him out. 1-2-3 inning for Manning. He might even be able to go 7 the way he's going. As we go to the top of the 7th, it is still a 5-2 game. And now Sam Long will be on for Oakland. He's got a -3 hold to go with Langoliers -1 for a -4. So let's go to the computer and bring in Mr. Long. Now that we're in the 7th inning, substitutions can be more freely done for either team if they so desire. Right now, Tigers going to stick with what they've got. Riley Green, center fielder. 110, that's a single. So Riley Green, a leadoff single against the left-hander. Left-hander didn't bother him. Riley Green's actually 3 for 4, triple and 2 singles. And here is Javi Baez. Two, chance for a balk or a pass ball. That's chance for a balk, but he has no balk rating, so we move on. They are holding Green on. He is a threat to run, so they will hold him on, but he won't go anywhere. 2-5, and that is a walk. So rough start for Mr. Long. Single and now a walk. And here comes Mr. Carpenter. He had a 3-run homer in the first inning, which was also off to a lefty. So Long trying to avoid that fate. 3-8. He does. It's ground ball first base B, so they'll get a fielder's choice to retire Baez at second base. Carpenter will reach, and going to third base is Green. The runners at the corners. Carpenter not going to be held. Torkelson, the batter. Runners looking for the double play are the Oakland A's against Torkelson. 5-7 against a right-hander. He's going to walk him, and that's going to load the bases. So the bases are now loaded with only 1 out, and Ibanez, your batter. Now, do they stick with Long, or do they go to the right-hander to try to get out of this mess? They may turn to a right-hander to try to get out of this predicament, and they're going to go to Danny Jimenez. So Long, he faced his 3 batters. In fact, he faced 4 batters. So he did his obligation. Can't close the book on him because runners are his responsibility. So Jimenez will be on. He's a +5, and then that's going to make him a +4 for the hold rating. But I don't think that really matters. He ended up walking 2, giving up a hit. Can't tell about the runs yet, though. So Ibanez will be facing Jimenez with the bases loaded and 1 out. And now we got to go to the computer and bring in Jimenez. A lot of pitchers being used here by Oakland to try to wiggle their way out of this here in the top of the 7th. But I mean, this is the game right here. If the Tigers score here, the game's pretty much over. Might be over already, but it would definitely be over if they score again. Infield looking for, you know what? The infield's in. They don't trust the double play chance. The infield is in. 2-2, and that is a split chance. 1-3 is a single. That's a 1. Boy, how bad of a break can you get there? Would have been a line out to short otherwise, but that's a 1. It's a single 1 star, and it's going to score the run. Coming in to score is Green. Going to third is Carpenter. Going to second is Torkelson. On the RBI single by Jimenez, or Ibanez rather, off Jimenez. Making it now a 6-2 game, and here comes Miguel Cabrera. Now they will play for the double play on Miguel Cabrera because he does have some double play chances. Looking to try to turn 2 on Miguel Cabrera. 5-7. Struck him out. They'll take that 2. That's out number 2. Now the infield can return to normal for Jonathan Scope, who's 0 for 3. Cabrera's 0 for 4. Scope is 0 for 3. Rogers is 0 for 3. The bottom third of the order for the Tigers are combined 0 for 10. Jimenez not out of the hot water yet, though. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 5-11, and that's a fly ball right field X. So they do have Brown, who's a 3-E2. 3 and a 17, he'll get to that. I don't think the E2, well, that's a 15. It could be a problem. E2, nope, a 16 is an error, but not a 15. So he's lucked out there. The 2 and the 17 is an F3, so it doesn't really matter. It's a third out. And Jimenez, all things considered, pitches pretty well. Close the book on Jimenez. He's going to allow 1 run. And now here comes Tabby. She couldn't hold off any longer, apparently. She decides to make her presence felt. As we're at the 7th inning stretch, I guess Tabby wanted to stretch. I don't know what else to tell you. But here she comes over here. She actually is stretching at the moment. And now we'll go to the Detroit bullpen. Although Manning will continue, do need to show who they have available in the bullpen if we can get Tabby out of the way. Tabby, you're going to have to move. Nobody wants to see your backside flipping around like that. Nobody wants to see all that. They definitely don't want to see your stomach, your belly. They don't want to see that. Come on. Why don't you come on down? Come on. Sit on the perch. Come on. Just go on the perch. All right. There you go. Tabby did her 7th inning stretch. All right. So let's look at the bullpen for the Tigers. From the right side, they have Jose Cisnero, Mason Englert, Jason Foley. I think Foley's from the right side. Yep. Let's see. And they also have their closer, Alex Lang. They have 3 lefties, Chasen Shreve, Tyler Holton, and Tyler Alexander. So let's see who's coming up for Oakland. Kind of really doesn't matter. Looks like they will go with Jason Foley is loosing in the bullpen for Tigers, just in case Manning gets in trouble. They will go with Jason Foley. It's going to be Aguilar for the A's against Manning, 6-2, and that is a ballpark home run chance. It's only 1-4, and that's a 17, so it's just going to be a deep fly for Aguilar. Oakland Coliseum is not going to allow a lot of home runs. Here's Ryan Noda. 2-9 for Noda, and that's a strikeout. So Noda out on strikes. 2 down for Jace Peterson. 2-4, and that's a 1-4 triple. That's a 19, so just settle for a single. 2-out single by Peterson. And here is Shea Langoliers. But he's only a 205 hitter, so we're going to go to the bench for Oakland. And we'll look at their bench players. Well, actually, if they pinch hit for him, Carlos Perez would come in and catch. He is the the other catcher. But they could use Nick Allen, they could use J.J. Bleday, or they could use Lawrence Butler. So out of all these guys, best average is actually Carlos Perez at 226. Although he's a righty. So you would think that they would just go with a lefty here. So they're going with, boy, who do they go to? They're going to go with Lawrence Butler. And then Perez would come in to catch for Langoliers. So Butler is your pinch hitter. Butler pinch hit in the 7th. And then Perez will take over as the catcher. So Lawrence Butler is your pinch hitter for Langoliers. And then Perez will come in and catch. Lang's going to try to finish the inning. Foley's going to try to finish the inning. Manning. I don't know why I said Foley. Foley's still in the bullpen. Manning to Butler, 3-7. It's ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. So, close the book on Manning. He goes 7 innings. Does very well for himself. And then we have to, on the computer, we have to bring in Carlos Perez to catch. And we also need a new pitcher. Oh no, actually they're going to stick with Jimenez. So they will stick with Jimenez. Foley will come in and pitch for Detroit in the bottom of the 8th. But right now Danny Jimenez only faced 3 batters, so he's going to stay in the game and see what he can do. Facing Jake Rogers, the catcher. Jake Rogers. So it looks like the phone still picks up to the edge of the score sheet, so I'm still okay there. All right, top of the 8th, 6-2 Detroit. Jimenez facing Rogers, 3-6, 1-15 is a home run. That's a 5. It is gone. Rogers just cranks one. Number 9 hitter leads off the top of the 8th with a home run, making it 7-2. Tabby, get down from here. What are you doing over there? You're not the home run trot. Get out of here. Come on, I'm trying to finish the game. Come on, no. Trying to finish the game. You're messing everything up. Get down here. Now I got to fix everything. Stay down there. Verlaine is your batter. As soon as I get everything fixed, hopefully. I don't know if she messed anything up or not. Check the focus. Hopefully now that is corrected. Tabby, you got to stay down there. All right, Jimenez to Verlaine, top of the order here in the 8th inning of now a 7-2 game. 6-12. That could be an injury factor for Jimenez. So let me go back and look at the player chart for Jimenez. Oakland. Jimenez, is he listed? He's a 6. So that means he's a 6-7 to be injured. 6-12, he's still okay. All right, so 6-12 is a ground ball pitcher X. He is a 3-E-0. So we know he's going to not make an error. It's just a matter of whether he gets to it or not. 3-15. Let's see if that's a potential double play. So 3-15 with well, actually nobody's on base, so we know he's going to get to it. 3-15 is a G2, but it doesn't really matter. Nobody's on base. It's just a ground out back to the pitcher. So 1 away, and that'll bring up Riley Green. So far, you could say Riley Green's a player of the game. Although Carpenter has a say in it too with that 3-run homer. Jimenez, 4-5 to the lefty, struck him out. 2 down. If I had to give it to anybody, I guess I'd give it to Carpenter because his 3-run homer in the first kind of set the tone for the whole game. Jimenez to Baez, 1-4, ground ball to short to end the inning. That's going to be all for Jimenez. His day is done. He goes an inning and 2/3. And he's going to give up 2 hits and a run. Struck out 2, didn't walk anybody. And they will have to have a new pitcher for the 9th inning. Right now, Manning is done. And the Tigers will bring in Jason Foley. So Jason Foley is going to come on. And he'll face Ruiz. And then the top of the order, Kemp and Diaz. So Foley is your new pitcher. I forgot to close the book on Manning here and do his totals. Let me do that real quick. We know he gave up the 2 runs. Hits, he gave up 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 hits. 4 of those came in the 4th inning. But a total of 5 hits altogether. Walks, he walked 1. He walked Peterson, and that was it. Strikeouts 1, 2, 3. So final line on Manning, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. So Foley is your new pitcher. Facing Ruiz here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Ruiz is 0 for 2. He is a .254 hitter, though, so they're going to let him hit. 6-11. Now I got to check Foley for injury. 6-11. Detroit. Foley is a 0. He cannot be injured. 6-11 is a ground ball to short. One away. 1 down, and that'll bring up Tony Kemp. Kemp is 0 for 3. 1-8, make it 0 for 4. As he grounds to Torkelson. If I could write a G, that'd be dangerous. Grounds to Torkelson. 2 up and 2 down, and that's going to send up Aledmus Diaz. Or do they pinch hit for Diaz? They're going to pinch hit for Diaz, I do believe. I think. Let me double check it here. Nick Allen can play short. They're going to use J.J. Bleday as a pinch hitter for Diaz. So in the 8th inning, Bleday pinch hits in the 8th inning. Bleday is going to pinch hit, and then Nick Allen will be the new shortstop. So let's put that on the computer, bring up Bleday as the A's try to use their bench to get something started. Bleday facing Foley with 2 outs and the bases empty. 6-3, and that's a ballpark single, but it's only a 1-5. That's an 11. So he will line to second to end the inning. And that's it for Foley. They're just going to have him go 1 inning. Didn't give up anything. And they'll bring in somebody to mop up the 9th in a non-save situation, obviously. So Bleday is done on that line out to second. Now we need a new pitcher and a new shortstop. And of course the shortstop is Nick Allen. And who's the new pitcher going to be is the question. Coming up for the Tigers, it'll be Carpenter, Torkelson, and Ibanez. So almost in a 6-2 game, it may not even matter who the new pitcher is. Let's see who they might go to here. They're going to go to Adrian Martinez. So Adrian Martinez. And he is the 5th pitcher used by Oakland. If I could write his name, it'd be dangerous. Martinez is your new pitcher. And he will be facing Kerry Carpenter. So it will be Carpenter, Torkelson, and Ibanez against Martinez. 5-8 against the lefty. That's a walk. Not what you want to start the game, or start the inning, I mean. Leadoff walk to Carpenter, and score being 6-2. Nobody's going to be held, and nobody's going to try for any leads. One chance for a wild pitch, and it will be a wild pitch. So Martinez will put one out to the backstop. That takes the double play out of the equation. And now here's Torkelson. 1-8 for Torkelson. He will walk. So back-to-back walks. And that brings up Ibanez. Martinez to Ibanez. 2-12 to Ibanez, and that's a ground ball to short. That'll be a 6-4-3 double play. Going to third base will be Carpenter, but they'll take it to get the 2 outs. Tailor-made double play. Two quick outs after the mess it got started, and here's Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera. It's Martinez. 6-11. And let's check Martinez for injury. Martinez is a 4. And on a 4, we're checking 6-9. So 6-11 is okay. It's a ballpark single. That's a 1, so Cabrera will single. And that will score the run. How about that? It's only a 1-5 for a single, and he found a 1. That evil D20 comes up 1 more than I care to think it does, but it does. It's a single. It's now 7-2. And that'll bring up Jonathan Scope. Martinez just trying to survive. 3-8 to Scope, and he walks him. Now the question is, do you stick with him? Rogers hit the home run last time up. But do you trust Martinez to be able to get the final out here? They really don't want to use another reliever if they can avoid it. So they're going to stick with Martinez. 1-8 struck him out, so they finally get out of the mess. Martinez is going to go 1 inning. Does give up the run. He walked 3. And he gave up 1 hit. So a total of 7 walks issued by Oakland pitching in this game. Certainly did not help their cause. And now we go to the bottom of the 9th. And it'll be a new pitcher for Detroit. And it's a mop-up situation all the way. So they will go with, I believe, Jose Cisnero, but let me double-check that. Make sure he didn't pitch in the previous game. I don't want to use anybody that pitched in the previous game. He did not. So Cisnero is going to come on. He was 3-4 with a 5.31 ERA and 2 saves. So Cisnero coming on for the Tigers. And he'll be facing Rooker, Brown, and Aguilar for the A's. Rooker, Brown, and Aguilar. 4-7, and that is a walk, leadoff walk. Not what you want to do when you're leading 7-2. You want to get the game over with, throw strikes. Here's Seth Brown. A's don't have anybody else on the bench. They've used everybody, so before they have on the bench, they've used up, so there's no more substitutions the rest of the way. Got to go with what they have. 6-4 against the lefty. Ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop is Baez. He's a 2E25. Nobody's being held, so there's not in a game like this, so there's no worry about losing any kind of his range. That's a 19 anyway. I think it would have, even if he was dropped to a 3, I think he still would have gotten it anyway. But in this case, a 2-19. Oops, that's outfield. Let's get infield. 2-19 is a G1. 3-19 would also have been a G1. That's a 7, and he is an E25, so let's make sure he didn't make an error. E25, nope, 4, 13, 17, and 18. So he's good. It is a 6-4-3 double play. The ultimate rally killer. Now 2 outs and the bases are empty for Aguilar. "5-4. 5-4 is a fly ball center field X. That is Green. He's a 3E9. 3-13 should be good all day long. We will check it. The error might be a problem. 3-13 is an F2, but we're checking the error. That's total 14. He's an E9. E9, there's a 14 right here for a 2-base error. So a 2-base E8 on Mr. Green. Mr. Green, a 2-base error with a wrench in the conservatory. Keeps the game going. And that brings up Ryan Noda. Cisnero upset, thinking that should have been the game, and it should have. 2 is a chance for a balk or a pass ball. It's a chance for a balk, but he has no balk rating, so we keep going. 1-2, and it's a ground ball to second that's going to end the ball game. So there's your final score. Tabby's trying to get up here again. I'm trying to hold her off as best I can. I'm going to pause the video and come back with the totals in just a second. All right, we're back with the totals. For the Tigers, 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. They left 10 on base. For Oakland, 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. They left 4 on base. Winning pitcher was Manning. He's 1-0. Waldichuk, the loser, 0-1. Home runs in the game. Carpenter, his first, and Rogers, his first. Carpenter hit his in the first. Rogers hit his in the 8th. So the Tigers are now 2-0. The A's are 0-2, probably to the surprise of no one. Riley Green was 3 for 5. Carpenter was 1 for 3, but that one was a biggie, that 3-run homer. I think it's kind of set the tone for the whole game. So I'm going to give him even though he's only 1 for 3, I'm going to give him the player of the game. Could give it to Manny. He went 7 innings, only gave up 2 runs, but he was facing a very weak Oakland team. So I'm going to give the player of the game to Carpenter for his 3-run homer in the first inning that really set the tone and got the Tigers rolling to where that 3 runs stood up for the rest of the game. So we give the player of the game to Mr. Carpenter. And like I said, the Tigers are now 2-0. The A's are 0-2. So could be a long season for the A's in this Demolition League. Good news for Oakland. They only have 52 more games remaining instead of 54, so they can only lose 52 more. But it's just some rough stuff. So. All right, so that's going to do it from here. Tabby's itching to get back up here. I really don't want her to do that. I really want to go ahead and finish the video and be done with it. So hopefully you enjoyed that presentation of the Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. Like I said, I'm trying to get my strat fix in between NBC Game of the Weeks on Saturday and between playing a couple of inside pitch games during the week. I want to get a couple of Strat-O-Matic games in, and so I'm doing. And I want to learn the new season, the newest players in the new season. So that's why I'm playing this particular year, is to try to learn these players. So when I watch the games on TV nowadays, I can figure out who's who and who's doing what. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.